Hi everyone, welcome. So welcome to the last Humans of Westknits. I feel a little bit sad because I feel like we just got to bond and just got to know each other a little bit better, and it's the end of the MKAL, and today is our last um, Zoom. Except maybe we'll do another one a month from now just to see everyone's finished objects, because not everyone finished them yet. So stay tuned for that announcement. We might do something in end of November, um, maybe like beginning last week of November, first week of December, sometime there. So today I wanna talk to you about your progress. Share with me where you are, if you finished it, if you're still on clue one, doesn't matter. Everybody is knitting it at their own pace, but share your thoughts, how you liking this project. Um, Enrique, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Arena, and
Hi.
everybody. Hi.
How are you liking it?
Um, well, I fell in, out of love with with this one. I already said last time I was here, but well, I'm gonna finish it. But I am currently on clue two, and um, it had a lot of faces. My M call this year. But I'm really enjoying the Zoom meeting I see afterwards, and I don't know. It a lot of happened with me, but I can show you.
Sure.
I went for the crochet middle one version. I I have this.
Beautiful.
So I don't have a granny square because I don't really like all those holes in a shawl. But I had accent like puffs crochet stitches
Mm-hmm.
on the corner, you see?
Yep.
And I introduced a mystery sock from Les Garçons that I had. So the dark extra color and that one after that, it's a mystery sock. So I introduced two new colors, and I do the mohair between the eyelets,
Mm-hmm.
but the double one because I don't like that airy things. Also, then I do Shetland lace when I want that. So I really enjoy the process. I was really intrigued by all the different options people came up with. So I'm proud of my tribe.
Yeah.
Also the really grown-up conversations about everything from clue one to clue three to clue four. I I think we have a really good tribe. We all handle it very graciously. I found, and I really enjoyed to look at all the different options and the different mindsets and the different path to the end of the destination. So I was like this time,
Well,
and all the time I'm like the first one, you know. I'm fast, and I'm knitting so long. I can knit very fast, and I'm always on pace. But I don't know, it was a roller coaster. But I like my tribe. I love you all.
Well, you participated last year also in Humans of Westknits, so you've been part of both formats, right? When it was an individual one-on-one interview or it was this Zoom meeting. What did you think? Like, what did you enjoy more?
I like this format better because it's a moment of moment thing. Knitting is really it's a solo type of passion, and I really like to engage with other people who do the same thing, and also the different kind of people. You know, you have the patience one; they don't skip ahead. You have the real people that they don't want to see social media for 4 weeks, and some of people have an opinion they want to share with everybody. But I really like that because the one-on-one was very nice, Irina, don't get me wrong, but that is what you do all the time, with your channel, and I really enjoyed the last one, but I always watch. But this is more like a knit night together, a knit night with friends, knit night with people you like.
Right, right.
So I like this format better. But maybe 71 interviews is a lot of work, but I think this was also a lot of work. So thanks, Irina and Martin, and all the people who are watching and who cheering. I really, really enjoy this.
Well, thank you for being part of it as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Bye.
Catherine, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes, I guess I can say for the last time, I am at work, so I like to get my stuff in first just in case the phone rings, or there's an important email. I was on the weekend, I was trying so hard to at least be started on clue 4 by the time this meeting came along, but I'm not. It turns out that I have to pay attention at the beginning and end of the rows, and as the rows get shorter, there's more beginnings and more ends to pay attention to. And I had to weave in all of my ends at the back. So I'm very proud of that. I'm this far along on, stripe and half in on the second side. Halloween was a little bit disruptive last night. I had to keep getting up and down, so I didn't get as many rows done as I wanted. I'm really looking forward to clue 4. I'm going to weigh all my yarn that I've got left at the end. I have plenty. I have another 2 skeins of red mohair besides the 2 that I've started. So I have ample of that. I've got a ton of the variegated mohair. I really want to do at least the orange, red, velvet, ox, velvet, red, orange, like so the gradient up and the gradient down. I can cast off in red if I run out of orange, or the orange is the one that is going to be the tricky one, because the orange mohair is the one that least matches. Everything else is a really good match, and so I'll see what I have to do. And I really want to do the fringes, and if that means I have to rip out my half of clue 1 that I was going to save as kind of a souvenir, I will do that. Because I just and of course, I mean, I'm wearing it looks really great with what I'm wearing now,
Right.
as well as with the black. So I'm really hoping I have 3 days that I have off next week, and I'm hoping, plus the Remembrance Day weekend, and I'm really hoping to get that. And I want to thank you so much for having this chat group available. I really loved it. It gave me something to look forward to, gave me something to work towards, like, oh my gosh, I have to have something done. I was a little worried when Martin missed the last couple that maybe he was sick. I've had some friends, colleagues get COVID recently, and so I was hoping that he was okay. But anyway, thank you so much for doing this. If you have one of these again in a month, that would be great. By then I should be finished. I was hoping to be finished, but I'm not. Oh well, it'll get done. It'll all get done.
Let me ask you about those loose ends. So last time we talked about it, some people were trying to do weave and Steven, which is difficult because there is spaces there. And some people were saying how they're gonna hide it in the I-cord. What was your method? What did you decide to do?
I tried. I hit a few in the I-cord, and I wove the rest in as invisibly as I could. The weave and Steven, I did every once in a while for the knit stitches, but as soon as I came to a gap, I stopped, and then I just wove the rest of it in kind of invisibly behind, so that you can't really tell because of the way the back of it looks. Obviously the tip is a little bit harder to fudge, but yeah, I didn't do the weave and Steven across the gaps because that just looked really weird.
Right.
So I will do them, and I didn't want the I-cord to get really bulky. So I would do a couple of them in there, but then I would weave the rest of them in so that it doesn't show.
Right, right. Thank you. Nancy, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Irina. Hi, everyone. I hadn't been able to join, so I was so thankful that I could join today. I did finish, so we're doing spoilers, I guess.
Show us.
Okay. So here it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And I started the bind off after row 20 of clue 4. So I don't have a big, wide border on the end.
Right.
And these are not my typical colors, but I'm keeping it anyway. I'm not giving it away.
So you decided not to do the fringe, or are you still thinking about doing
I'm not going to do the fringe. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think it's big enough?
It's not as big as I had anticipated, but I mean, it is a good size. I'm short. So for me, it's, it's a good size, but I had thought it was going to be much larger.
Right.
But I really did appreciate that I could keep up with the clues.
Yeah, this time it felt more manageable, right? Like as far as the amount of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And as far as your format, Irina, I enjoyed last year the individual interviews, but I really loved it this year that it was more of a community and we gathered as a global community. I really just love that aspect.
Right. Well, thank you so very
much. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Catherine, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, yes.
Hi.
Similar to the other Catherine, I found the section 3 is taking me longer than I expected. I'm not a very fast knitter, and that was one of the reasons I've never done these make-alongs before, because I thought there was no way I was going to keep up. But in that very first week of the first original clue, I managed to finish just in time. So I was thinking that maybe I could keep up, and then of course, it all went tragically wrong at that point. So I have, I'm only on the first part of the clue 3 here, and I've done the worst part of it. I got not much to go, but I have not done clue 2 on the other side. So it's still going to take me a time to get through it. And this small part of clue 3, I've been working on that and almost nothing else for about 3 days so far. So it was unexpectedly time consuming, not because it's difficult. And I didn't really have to rip out at all. Once or twice is an odd mistake, but the same as the other Catherine said, it's the beginning and end of every row. I have to just stop and double check because each row has got different numbers of how many stitches you do before the end, and how many you skip, and so I have to, which row am I on, and just double check each time. I did go up a needle size, and the reason for this clue 3, the reason for that was I noticed a lot of people saying the wingspan wasn't very long, and I prefer a shawl with a long wingspan but that's not very deep. So I thought if I went up a needle size, it might help spread those sides out there. And I have been weaving my ends by hand each time. I thought about doing it in the I-cord, but a lot of people said it got too thick. So I've just been weaving them in as I've been going there.
I found that I did one side where I was trying to weave each individual end one strand at the time on one side, and then I tried to hide them all in I-cord on the other side. What I found, they sticking out of the I-cord somehow, like the little heads poking out. So it's sort of annoys me. So I'm gonna go back and see what I can do about that, because I noticed a few of those weird runaways,
I did a different shawl that wasn't by Stephen in the past where they had you do that, and I had the same trouble. Even after I washed it, they would pop out of the I-cord. So that was another reason that I thought, I don't think I want to do that.
Right, right. Well, thank you. Allison, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi.
So I got all the knitting done. And for the last bit at the top here, I played yarn chicken with my color A and I lost. So I went with color C, and then I did a couple of stripes of, like I did stripes with color B and color A, and then went back to color D for the, so it's a little longer than, like I did one extra like dip stitch row.
Right.
But
I actually ran out of color B sometime in the, like, yeah, in the fourth clue, but luckily enough I had another extra skein, so I broke the extra skein and I used it for the fourth clue. But like, yeah, but that was because like I did the original, like most of the original clue, and then I did the alternative clue, and then I did this. So it's like I've done the first clue so many times that I knew I'm gonna be running out of yarn at some point. But like once I saw that I have an extra skein of that particular color, because it was like this light green, and it's hardest to find something matching. So I knew like that I have the extra skein, so I wasn't too worried. But yeah, did you enjoy that I-cord, the binding I-cord?
yeah, I do like to have an I-cord on the edges. I don't necessarily always do an I-cord bind off for my bind offs, but I do like having the I-cord edges. And
Do you like the look or do you like the process?
I like the look. I like, it's very neat.
Right.
And in a way that I don't feel like, doing 2 stitches of garter stitch on edges.
Were you concerned at all that the fourth clue, like the border, that it's gonna roll on and into itself?
It is doing that right now, currently. I haven't blocked it yet because I have to weave in my ends, but I'm like, I think that when I block it, it'll stop curling in on itself.
I think like the way I was blocking, I was really aggressively blocking it at the front. And so that, and less aggressively so on the sides of the shawl. So it's like, at least it doesn't roll like a little lobster apron, that bib in the front. But I think like it also probably depends on how tight that I-cord is. So if you guys didn't get to the fourth clue, go like try to do that I-cord loosely. It's gonna help with blocking it, because otherwise it does roll a little bit.
I guess I also like I-cards better for blocking too, because you can just put the blocking wire in the middle of the I-cord instead of like, oh, I have to weave this through garter stitch and figure out how that works.
Right. Okay, thank you. Claudia, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, I'm finished.
Yay.
Started with an off kind of skewed square in crochet. Then I picked up all the stitches around with a Tunisian crochet hook with a cable. And then I transferred the stitches onto my knitting needles. And then I finished the clue with the mohair there. The violet is mohair, but I only made one eyelet round, and then the other bits with the mohair, I didn't do the eyelets. And then clue 3, I got carried away with crochet modifications. So you can't really say it's a GeoGradient MKAL shawl anymore, because I finished the corners with corner to corner crochet, and then added down there here a border in crochet as well. So the rest is crochet. I just have to do another one with knitting.
It sounds like, yeah, you might have to just try it again. Did you enjoy it though? Was it like a pleasant experience for you to participate in this MKAL?
Yeah, I did. I just get carried away with crochet, and because that's so fast for me. But I really, I mean, when I'm not in a knit along situation and I don't feel pressured with time, I might just take a year to actually do the clues as intended.
Right. When you look now at your shawl, like, do you think that design is something you would have bought if it wasn't part of the MKAL?
Yes. Definitely. I enjoy the shape. I enjoyed the stripe. I actually enjoy the clue one now more than the original first clue.
Yeah.
That would have looked too retro vibey for me.
Right. Yeah, I think it might have been like a bit too busy anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Amanda, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, this is my first meeting. I've been at work every single time you guys had a meeting, so I was so excited that you had it today. I've watched them all though, and I finished mine. It's 50% crochet and 50% knit. I used to be a knitter years and years ago, stopped knitting for a while, picked up crochet, and so I kind of forgot how to knit. So this was a good way back into it. It was my first MKAL with Stephen West. So I did the first clue is a solid granny, and then I did the knit version of clue 2, and clue 3 was actually my favorite. I loved clue 3. I love the way that came out, the knit version. I messed up a few colors. I forgot what color was A, B, and C, and D at some point, but it still looks good. And then clue 4, I actually just did crosshatch granny stitch because I did not feel like I was ready to attempt the
dip.
Yeah, the dip. I was like, no. I just want to keep enjoying it, and I'm almost done. And so I just did crosshatch granny, which I actually really like the way that came out. It kind of makes it look frilly.
Yeah, I do too. It's actually really pretty. And I love your colors. They're very like happy somehow.
You know, it was everything that had at least 100 or 200 grams of in stash, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the same, like if I had little bits everywhere. So this was the most yarn, and the colors just came together because it was the most that I had of the colors. So
well, are you happy with the way it looks? Because when you're going into the mystery shawl, you don't know what you're signing up for.
the shape, I think somebody else just mentioned this, the shape is really good. I haven't blocked mine or anything, and I think it's like the perfect size. Of course, I'm very short though. So, but I think it's really long for me too. So I thought that was really great. But yeah, I love the shape, and I loved clue 3. That was just so neat. I could see doing that in other shawls. I've never done the slip stitches like that before. That was really neat.
Well, as you guys know, tomorrow we're gonna be talking with Stephen and Linda on Martin's channel. So if you have any questions that you would like us to ask them, pop them in the chat. So I'm gonna take a snapshot of that and make sure that we ask Stephen what you want to know. And it's gonna be at the same time as this meeting, but tomorrow. And it's gonna be on Martin's on Knit 365 channel. So just tune in for the live there. Thank you, Amanda. Sabine, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I'm done with the entire shawl, and I guess I'm the first. I went for the tassels. And so this is, oops. Can you see this?
Yep.
So I actually originally had, and I have so much yarn left over. I originally had the tassels a little bit longer. I cut them fairly short because I was thinking about doing mini pom-poms. But then I started with the pom-poms, and they went so small that the middle yarn that you sort of hold the strands together didn't really hold the pom-poms, and bigger would have been too much for the thing. Something funny happened to me when I was done with clue 1, 2, 3. Somehow, and I don't even know how this even happened, I had to start with the clue 4 at section 11. I started at section 12 and then I ended up without any I-cord. And I was like, what happened here? And then I just had a look at the shawl and I could continue with clue 11 and it was all fine. But I don't even know how this happened in the first place. It just did.
I mean, like, could it be that you were picking up stitches on the wrong side? Like you started from the different direction?
Yeah, but I think then at least clue 3 should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Anyway, I made a mistake somewhere.
All is well that ends.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about this shawl? Like, do you feel like you would buy this pattern regardless if it was MKAL or not?
I think I'm a fairly, this is my first shawl ever, MKAL or not, and I'm usually knitting totally different things. So if there wouldn't have been this entire whoopla in the beginning of the MKAL, I wouldn't have noticed that there is something like an MKAL. And I think I said this before, I was just so appalled by all the negativity that I figured, okay, I'm not a shawl knitter, but I'm just gonna do this. Which has led me to buy lots more patterns from the I'm just gonna do minimum the shallography, and there was one hibernate that I really liked, but I can't remember the name, and I haven't really downloaded everything, but I like it, and I will do another one because I this is ending up really to be a present, although I hate it because I really like it, but I'm going to do this one more time.
Right.
Most likely in the exact fabric combination, not the same colors. It's going to be black, gray, white, and dark gray, but I'll go for a different gradient color pop. So
is it fair to say that Humans of Westknits turned you into a shawl knitter now?
Yeah.
You'll take that blame, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine because I've the funny thing about this community is, and I think somebody said this before as well, I wasn't aware, to be frank, that there are so many people knitting. I always thought of myself as a complete freak because I've been doing this for 45 years. And I've always been sitting at home following a pattern or do something. And for the longest time, there were very, very few yarn shops in Germany. And only recently they kind of popped up everywhere. I learned like 2 weeks ago that there's a beautiful yarn shop like 5 minutes walk from me. It's opened in January. So I was super happy that I found a community that I can just look up patterns, that people show their work, and then there's just so much to learn from and so much to watch. I'm just completely enamored. It's winter, I have time, so I'll be knitting.
I'm glad you became a
So
shawl.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Amy, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
This is the first time I'm on, but I've watched all the other ones from this year and last year. So thank you, Irina, for sharing this.
Thank you for joining us.
Well,
Show us what
I'm on my last dip stitch, so I'm probably gonna finish today. But this is my I have like this plum color, orange, and golden, and then like a cream, very similar to Stephen's original colors by chance. But this is and then my center is the version 3 center, which I love. I love it with the stripes and all the colors.
what are you thinking about the third clue, like versus first clue? Which one do you like better?
Versions?
No, because like Linda said that her favorite was clue 3, and
Oh yeah,
Stephen's favorite was clue 4. Which one is yours?
I love 3 and 4 equally, but I love knitting 4 better than 3 because I had the same issues that everybody else had with you know, slip stitching 5 all of a sudden and then going back and having, or getting it on the wrong side, having to flip it. So I've made less mistakes on this dip stitch one, and it's gone fast. So I love knitting it, but I love the effects of both.
Did you do swatching for the fourth clue prior to starting it, or did you just dive?
No, I did not swatch, but for the first time ever, I did put in a lifeline. And I've knit a lot of shawls, and this is the first time I did a lifeline because I was a little bit worried. But once I did it, I pulled out the lifeline after the first time I did the dip stitch. I'm like, I've got this.
I actually managed to mess up somehow, and I don't know how, one of the dip stitches, and it took me a hot second to fix that because it wasn't as obvious like how I messed it up and like how to fix it. So that gave me a bit of trouble, but somehow I managed in the end. Are you gonna do the fringe?
I did tassels on last year's twists and turns, and I ended up taking them off. So I probably will wear it without tassels to begin with, or without fringe to begin with, and see if I like the fringe, or, you know, see if I like it without the fringe. Most likely without,
Right.
But I'm up for trying it.
Right. Well, thank you. Sita, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Irina. Hello. You look lovely in your shawl. Glad to see you also wearing yours. I'm wearing mine.
It's so cold. It suddenly turned like under 40 in Boston, so which is like closer to like, I don't know, 5 degrees in centigrade. And it's really chilly. And I had it on my desk and I was like, you know what? I'm wearing it. So
it's really warm here, but I thought seeing as it's done and blocked, I might as well wear it.
Well, would you like modeling it for us?
Well, I don't know how. Can you see me well?
Yep. It's beautiful.
I can't really get very much closer. I've done a.
I love
just
your
hang on.
border. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've done this little extra border, and yeah, I'm very happy with the coloring. I think it's come out really great and fun, and actually quite a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So there it all is, and yeah, it's quite dense. I find it. I've been wearing it since the beginning of the Zoom, and it's very warm.
Right. And you are the second person that I saw on Humans who did an extra border. So another one is Mandy from Australia. She did actually Shetland lace border on top of the deep border on top of the clue 4. So you are also doing an extra border. Did you crochet that or did you knit it?
No, it's actually, you know, I toyed with a lot of different things. This actual dark line is not actually an I-cord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that dark stripe, it's a reverse stocking stitch, like in clue 2.
Right.
And I knew then that, you know, I wanted some holes. I missed the holes in this shawl because that's one of my favorite things. I mean, I know we've got the little yarn overs, but this is basically a border that I took from another shawl that I made ages ago and sort of modified it. So it's got very big yarn over, like, you know, 3 yarn overs and then 9 stitches in it, but then it's still an I-cord around the edge of it. And it's perfect. At the beginning, I thought, oh, it doesn't really go with the rest of the shawl. But, you know, I always have this sort of love-hate relationship with my shawls. It takes a little while for me to really love it. And I'm still not, I won't say this is my absolute favorite, but I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, like you, I just feel suddenly it's like finished. It was like, oh, that's it, it's done. I was thinking I wouldn't get it done before I leave on Saturday. But yeah, suddenly I was at the end, and I was thinking of doing, you know, clue 4 wider, and then I didn't, but I'm very happy with it. I blocked it quite aggressively. It's quite deep. It's quite long. And I love it.
Tell us a little bit about your upcoming trip and how people can find you on YouTube and watch your upcoming trip there.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm a bit of a nomad. I go backwards and forwards between South Africa and India. and I lived there for 12 years. So I take tours, and that's primarily what I'm doing. On Saturday, I'm leaving, and I'm taking people on a tour for 3 weeks, and then I will stay in India until March. During that time, I will continue knitting. In fact, a big part of my packing, and today I sort of got a great idea about casting on quite a few projects so that by the time I get to start knitting them, you know, they're already ready for me. So I've casted on 2 other shawls today and trying not to knit on them because I really do underestimate the speed of my knitting. You know, that's a real problem for me sometimes. I think, oh, I'll knit this when I fly. Well, I mean, I've just about finished knitting the thing I'm going to knit when I fly. And I bring back silk yarn and textiles and beautiful things from India. So I have a YouTube channel called The Shawl Knitter Unplugged on YouTube. And I will be doing, I hope it will be every week because that's what I like to try and do. And I'll be showing all my stuff and, you know, still my knitting and some interesting things and lots of colorful stuff and maybe some noisy episodes. But I did that in February this year when I was there and people loved it. They said, oh, we love to hear the sound. So yeah, I will be just
I was watching all your episodes and I felt like I was traveling with you. So guys, Sita is gonna put in the comments the name of the channel. Please give her a follow and watch some of her travels. You're gonna enjoy it. Like, I know because like I loved it. Thank you, Sita.
Thank you. Just one question I have. I don't know if this is a question for Stephen, but in the beginning he did say that we wouldn't really see much of the square, which to me it's the main focus of the back of the shawl. So I just didn't understand what he meant about that. I guess that could be possible if you wear it sort of the other way around. That's probably what he meant.
Right.
Anyway, I'm looking very much forward to see him tomorrow. And I must say, I've been missing Martin. So where is Martin and how is he doing with his shawl? Do we know?
We don't know. We'll ask him tomorrow. I think he's been just very busy.
Well, thank you very much. It's been wonderful.
Thanks, Sita. Isabelle, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes. First of all, thank you for this great month with all of you, and I had a great time, and it helps pushing me like a challenge. You have to finish, and also no pressure because the way you do it, it's no pressure. I am almost finished. Here it is. The part that is completely finished is this one. I did 7 rows of the part 4 of the clue 4.
Deep stitch.
Okay, and yes, yeah, deep stitch. And now I have to get in all the loose ends because it's incredibly hairy. I am very happy. I love it. I hope that, I don't know how it fits me because I haven't tried it. I didn't dare to pull it too much because of the unraveling from the needles. So I don't know. I like big shawls, and I was afraid at the beginning that it would be a small one. Apparently, I think the big border will make it big.
Yeah, it's not a small shawl. Like I was also concerned after 3rd clue that it's gonna be small, but I think it's a very generous size, especially like after blocking, it does grow.
I still have this much of those yarns that are finished, and I still have this to do my I-cord. So it's really, I will do tassels and well, I think, and I really have a lot of yarn. They are protected in a little pouch, medical pouch, you know.
That's very clever, actually. I like that idea.
Yeah. So it doesn't untangle because this is terrible.
Right.
And Also, I have been with you the whole day today and yesterday because I've been catching up with the past MKAL. And I love both formats. And what I would enjoy, you take it or leave it, it's my dream, that we have a 24 hours every day, how do you say, 27
24/7.
Zoom open. And when you start knitting, you're not alone. It's my dream.
That's actually an interesting idea. Nobody ever suggested that. Thank you. Kimberly, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
All of your shawls are so beautiful. And as I look at them, I say, they look like mine in some way. Like all of the color schemes are pretty close, except for Irina's gorgeous one.
Thank you.
But thanks so much for doing this. This is my first time here. And I've done every single MKAL, except for the last one. The last one, I couldn't do the Batman look. It didn't do it for me. But other than that, I've pretty much done every one.
Well, what do you like about MKAL, since you are the most experienced of us all in the world of MKALs?
Well, and that's why, because I learned so much. Like he has this no frill, just jump in there and you just do it.
Right.
And I follow right along. I'm gonna just jump in there and do it, and hopefully it comes out right. And every time it does. But I've learned a lot by him.
So do you have a favorite clue in this one?
Actually, I'm still on clue 3 because I want to tell you I couldn't count to 4.
Well,
I
you're not
had
the
to
only
do
one. I've heard that before.
I had to do the first wing over like row by row. I was tinking and knitting, tinking and knitting, tinking and knitting. I'm also a test knitter for Steven, so I'm working on some stuff he has coming out. So my time is very limited to be able to play, because you have deadlines for his test knits. But I am on clue 3, and I love clue 3. I do.
Kimberly, you want to share some secrets? We won't tell. It's only gonna be on YouTube.
Oh, I've got an NDA. He's pretty strict on letting out any secrets, no posting or anything.
Well, is
But
it
you
exciting?
guys
Should we be excited about what's coming up?
Absolutely. The hibernate is coming. And there's some gorgeous things in there. And I'll just say you're gonna see some of this again.
Yeah.
How about that?
That sounds promising.
Yep, absolutely.
What did you think about Humans of Westknits?
I watch you guys every time, but I never catch it. And I almost missed it today because I went to YouTube looking for you and I'm like, no, it's a Zoom.
Right.
So like I love to see all your designers and all your interviews. I watch you all the time, you and Martin.
Oh, thank you.
You're a joy.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you were able to join us today and be part of this discussion. So
Me too.
Thank you. And Enrique, do you want to unmute yourself?
I forgot to say that the discussion of the size of the shawl. That's why I decided for a crochet middle part, because when I'm knitting, I'm a really not a really tight knitter, but I'm tight on the needle. When you say I have perfect tension, I have a perfect tension, but it's tight on the needle. So that's why I always do 0.25, up needle size when I knit Stephen West shawl. And that's why I chose the crochet one when I think the previous 2 or 3 ones. But and I want to say that I'm team fringe always. When he say we do fringe, and we do fringe. So I do the fringe, but I missed the last 2 years the most feared brioche. So I decide on that I do the whole pattern like he says, yeah, well, individual choices of the colors and the mohair, but I think I do the border of the holy serious holy shawl. The previous well, I also knit a lot of shawls of him, and I really love the border, the whole series holy brioche. So that's because I like a really big shawl, because uh, he made us love the Schlenkets. So that's why I saw this discussion the previous episode you did about the size and what to do. I have a lot of yarn because I chose to do 2 more extra colors. So no, I think I do the brioche border and then the fringe, because the brioche border got a real clean edge. So then it's more part of the gradient, and then you can go out, because the fringe of his is too small. I don't know how to call it fringe, but he wants fringe.
I'm still a little bit undecided about the fringe. So I finished mine without the fringe, and I sort of like the look of it. So I was like, you know what, let me sleep on it for a week or so and think on it, and then I'll decide at the later day.
Yeah, I always think that he had slept enough of his ideas. So he said, fringe, I do fringe.
Right.
That's why I always love when you say that in his interview, he said, I like to manipulate people. He manipulated me almost a lot of years. So he said, fringe, I do fringe. But I really like the big one. So I chose the border of the Serious Holy brioche, because I love the brioche.
I'm a fan of brioche too. If you guys,
yeah, I know. I saw your shawl on Rhinebeck recap. So
you know what, I must tell you, that shawl caught so much attention. Like, people were stopping me on the street, not because of me. They were asking the name of the shawl. They didn't know who I was, but they knew they wanted to know the name of that shawl.
Her designs of brioche is perfect, clear and also perfect.
Thank you.
Because with some brioche experts, they do a lot of words, and I don't understand the words. So I understand her. I understand Stephen. I never did anything brioche without those. Julie Knits in Paris and Stephen West. Sorry.
Yeah, they have very clear patterns, both of them, when it comes to brioche. Like, I find it
looks really difficult, but it's good to do when you know the basics.
Right.
Like Stephen West, when you know the basics of knitting, then he explains it very well. So, but I want to say I was Team Fringe. Sorry, people.
That's fine. And if you guys don't know what Enrique is talking about, so 2 years ago, I interviewed Stephen. It was very extensive interview. I think it's hour and 20 minutes. It was one of the longest interviews I put out there. And in it, we went like really in depth about his process and how he designs. And it was very interesting conversation. So if you haven't watched that, I encourage you to give it a look. Maria, would you like to unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm so dark. I'm having terrible time with my Wi-Fi today. But I just want to say hi, and I've enjoyed this very much. Unfortunately, haven't been able to make many of the episodes, and I am embraced my pace because I'm still on glue 2. But and it was lovely to meet you at Rhinebeck.
Enjoying it.
I love it. I really do. I'm so happy that I am able to finish this, because I tried last year and I just was like in tears. I just couldn't do it. But the yarn from last year made it into this year. So it all worked out.
So good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So tomorrow, we're gonna go on Martin's channel. So it's Knit 365 blog. And if you guys join at the same time that we started today at 1 p.m. Eastern, Stephen and Linda are gonna join us. It's gonna be probably just half an hour live, give or take, because they're all busy people. So we're gonna just talk about the expectations, how the knit along was for Stephen. I'm sure you all want to find out. And just like the final thoughts about this year's knit along and what he plans for the future, kind of thing. If you have any questions, please either DM me on Instagram or send me an email to fiberchats@gmail.com. Also, I want to invite all of you to join my group on Ravelry, which also calls Fiberchats. And there is an announcement section in that group where I put all the future events that I'm going to be doing. And one of those events, I sort of announced it during my birthday giveaway, is going to be a knit along starting sometime in January for Melody Sweater. And it's a pattern by Claudia Quintanilla. And it's just like this beautiful, very romantic kind of pullover. So I'm going to have, I offered that pattern for free for a couple of days for my birthday giveaway. But if you couldn't get it, it's going to be, I'm going to have, I think it's 50% discount, like closer to the time of the MKAL. And Claudia's team is going to put together some kits that you can order from her store if you're nearby, or you can just use whatever yarn you have in your stash. As usual, it can be team kit or team stash. And it's going to be just basically just for the same reason, to get together, to knit, to talk about it, and to have fun and to continue with this community. So please join that Ravelry group. It's called Fiberchats. I'm also on Instagram as Fiberchats, on TikTok as Fiberchats. And if you are on Facebook, a friend of mine, David van de Kemp, and I have a group there that it's called Knitters Gonna Knit. And we would love to have you there as well. And until next time, I'm gonna post when we're gonna meet for get together to see the last sort of like show us your finished shawl. And even if you don't finish by then, please join just to say hello, because I got to know you, love you, and it would be great to see familiar faces. So I'm gonna announce that it's gonna be sometime like after Thanksgiving, like late November, early December. I'll put a date. I put all the announcements in that Ravelry group, which is why I encourage you to join it, not to make that group grow, but just so you stay in touch and you know what's happening. So I'm gonna put that announcement there, and hopefully I'm gonna get to meet you again during that time. And please stay in touch. Send me pictures of your shawls when you finish it. I would love to see them. You can always reach me at fiberchats@gmail.com. Just send me a quick email. And I hope you all enjoyed this series. It was lovely to meet you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because I know it was very nice for me. So thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Irina.
Thank you. Bye.